apples. Apples are very filling and they're very nutritious, and I try to eat 1 apple a day. Berries. Berries are very interesting because when I moved in with my dad, he was on like this whole, and still is, the carbs, right? Because he went to his doctors and she said that he was borderline diabetic. And it freaked him out because he's really, health conscious. He really watches what he eats. He doesn't eat hardly any sweets and stuff anymore. And so it upset him that he tries so hard, but he's still, borderline diabetic. And so we researched it, and I talked to another doctor, and she said that a lot of times when you're getting older, because he's, 70, that your metabolism doesn't, use the sugars or, as fat. I don't know exactly what, but that happens, that you can be borderline without actually like eating bad. It's just naturally your body doesn't use the sugars the same, I guess. So he didn't want to eat a lot of berries and fruits and apples because they are sugary, they're carbs. And he was like, I can't, I'm borderline diabetic, I can't eat the berries, I can't eat the apple, and so I went and talked to my doctor again because, in my mind, I'm like, well, these aren't like sugar, they're fruit. And she told me that I was correct, that fruit, even though it is sugar, because it's like a natural whole sugar, your body doesn't process it the same, something to do with the protein or something with it. It's not like a table sugar, or a bad sugar. So it's okay to eat the fruits and the berries, every day because it's a natural sugar that's okay for your body. So every day I try to eat berries, blueberries, blackberries. The colors in it, I forget the word again, is something in there that's super good and good for you, along with antioxidants and stuff. So berries I eat when I get them in season, and apples I eat every day. A lot of you people might not be a vegetable kind of person, but the more you make yourself eat it, the more you'll find you like it because your body likes it, and it gives you an energy that you might not get, and it fills you up and it makes you feel good. And once you start working vegetables in more and working out the bad stuff, you will feel a difference. Carrots are wonderful because they don't have to stay refrigerated. You can take them with you everywhere. They're crunchy and they're satisfying. I try to buy organic carrots. Certain things I will try to get organic, certain things I won't. Carrots especially because they say they're like a sponge in the ground and they soak up like all the chemicals and stuff. So the organic carrots, I eat those. I make my dad celery a lot, but I can't stand celery. But squash is really good for you. Green beans are yummy. Okay, when it comes to salads, since salads is usually like a huge part of a diet, right? I mean, you see everyone on a diet eating a salad because salad is filling, and lettuce is extremely filling, but it's not like, high in calories or anything. Unfortunately, iceberg lettuce really isn't nutritious, so it's kind of like a waste of a filling. Romaine is better, but if you can, because it doesn't really taste bad, at least I don't think so, I just buy the big bags of spinach, and I use it just as a salad instead of lettuce because spinach is super good for you. I think it has like a lot of iron and stuff in it, and it's way better for you than lettuce. So if you can do spinach, or at least try like mixing a little spinach in with your lettuce, and then a little more, and then work your way out of regular lettuce and work your way into more spinach. Spinach is good. Now the question of what do we do for dressing, right? Because that's going to always add in calories. What I used to always use was this pomegranate vinaigrette. It's 70 calories for 2 tablespoons, 4.5 grams of fat, 0 saturated fat. It's not really bad. I mean, 2 tablespoons, it doesn't really cover a salad very well, but it's low calories and it's really tasty. It's very yummy. I actually found something that I use now instead of dressing. I'll show you when I get to that aisle. I love avocados. It's one of my favorite things, but they are, high in fat. I know it's a good fat for you. I know that, but still, I just don't eat a lot of them. I use it as like a treat, like once every few weeks I might get 1 or 2, and make like a guacamole or just have it with my food. One thing that is excellent are sweet potatoes. I don't know if you guys eat potatoes, but you should choose a sweet potato over a regular potato because this has a lot of starchy carbs that will turn to sugars, where this is like a root vegetable that's actually going to be good for you. Even though it's still carbs and sugary, it's way better for you, actually healthy for you. So if I'm having, like if I'm making chicken or fish or something for me and my dad, and he used to always love white rice. That's like his favorite. He'd want white rice with everything when I moved in. But now he's seeing that the white rice is just a filler and it turns to sugar. And so I make him like, you know, some sweet potato, like cut it in fourths. And then, you know, he has a piece with his meal. And then I put the rest in the refrigerator, which are great snacks because you can eat them cold. You can take them with you to go. A cooked sweet potato is great. So once I fill up my buggy with produce, that's like my main thing, then I go shopping for the rest. Now, alcohol. I know if you've watched the old cruise vlogs, not mine anymore, you might have seen where I started drinking for the first time with Trevon in Nassau, and it was fun, and I did like it, but I haven't really drinking any lately because, you know, with a healthy lifestyle, alcohol isn't in there, only occasionally, you know. Now when I drink, it makes me feel icky, so I just don't drink. Okay, protein bars. You're gonna hear me say this a lot maybe because I'm just telling you guys things that, like I said, I think or things that help me. You know, if I say the wrong information, I'm sorry, and you can correct me, I don't care. Protein bars, I know it's iffy for some people. I always eat the Cliff ones. I do eat protein bars. I know they're like a lot of carbs and sugars in one bar, but when I'm out all day long. You know, like now I would just have a protein bar and that would be like my meal, like, you know, for 5 or 6 hours, you know, and I actually have been trying to eat half of it at a time or less because my dad goes to a doctor, and she's not necessarily a doctor, she's like a preventative doctor who, like, you know, looks at your health and your lifestyle and tells you things that you could do to be healthier, to try to prevent, you know, bad health and problems. You don't just wait for the health problems and then go to the doctor. You know, you try to avoid them. And she said that with carbs, you only want to eat about 15 grams per like meal. I mean, wow. Imagine if that was true. Go look at the meals and things that you and I have probably eaten and how many carbs are in a meal. If you're really only supposed to have 15 or 20 grams, you know, per time you eat, then that's a lot of rearranging in diets if you think about it. So one of these has 30 grams of carbs, so I'll eat half, and then I'll wait like an hour, and then I'll eat, you know, or so, and then eat another half. What I've begun to do is get myself on an eating habit of every 2 hours. It's the only way I can ensure that I eat enough, because I'm full a lot because my stomach is shrank, and I get busy and I forget to eat. And then one time I realized I'm starving, you know, 4 hours might have went by and I'm not going to get the nutrients that I need. So I try to eat every 2 hours something like vegetables, fruits, you know, a little whatever I need, like some protein, some carbs, and that helps to, you know, divide out your carbs. So if you are going to try to eat maybe only 15 or 20 grams at a time, you know, it's easier to, you know, eat something every few hours during the day. And again, you'll notice a difference in how you feel and the energy you have. What I used to do was just sit down for like one huge meal at lunchtime, or one huge meal at dinner. And then during the day, all other times of the day, I would maybe like snack on bad stuff like chips or cheese or candy or whatever I wanted. Water, we're on the water aisle. Water is so important. I really don't know if I drink enough water. I don't know how much you're supposed to have. You guys can maybe answer that. I've heard lots of things. What I heard the majority of my life was like half of your body weight in ounces or a little less, you know. But water is definitely important, not only just to losing weight, but being healthy. Your body is made up of water. You need water. When you're dehydrated, it's bad for you. Did you know that, you might not know, but if you get migraines a lot, if you get muscle cramps like in your legs or your body, I used to, and I think it's a lot of the times it's caused from dehydration, a lack of water. Your body and your muscle is wanting that water, those fluids. And sometimes when I have a migraine, I'll go and drink a bottle of water and it'll go away. So drink lots of water, you guys. And if you don't like water, try the, not like the Gatorade and stuff, Kool-Aid, but they make like this flavor water. Like just water with a flavor in it. You know that. I don't even go down the chip aisle, ever. I do, actually. I'm lying. Well, I don't mean to lie, but I do go to the chip aisle. I totally forgot because I never liked chips before. I was never a chip person. But now every time I go to the store, I used to get these Cape Cod ones. I think they're really good. But like I said, I was never a chip person. But now I get Publix brand tortilla chips for my dad. He just loves having a few of them at night. And then I started having a few at night. And now it's like, I don't know. They're so good. So I do have a few chips sometimes at night. But basically, I don't go on the chip or the cookie or the candy aisle because temptation is there. We are all tempted. Oh, I used to love pasta. I used to eat so much pasta. It's like my favorite. I mean, who doesn't love pasta? But now I really don't ever eat any kind of pasta. I will make occasionally a box of macaroni and cheese for myself. Just, to taste it. Oh my gosh, look. With cauliflower added to the pasta. What is it with cauliflower everywhere? Why cauliflower? There's like some secret that just came out about cauliflower. They're making, have you noticed in the grocery stores they have like cauliflower everything now? Like tater tots and mashed potatoes, and I mean, it's like, it's weird, I think. I used to get these for the kids. Amy, Zarius especially, would make his own like bean burritos, the tortillas, you put them in the oven with cheese or whatever. They're so, so good. But it wasn't until I looked and realized the sat fat on one shell, one tortilla, is 3 grams. That's 15%. That's like, I mean, I could eat a Pop-Tart for the one tortilla shell. And when you look at their label, the sat fat is one of the worst things you don't want to eat, is a saturated fat. And why would I eat 3 grams of it in a tortilla when I don't need to? It's just going to turn to carbs, to sugar, and make me unhealthy and overweight. So I stopped eating tortillas. And I don't really eat bread at all. For my hamburger, I make a lettuce or tomato bun sandwich. You don't really need the bread, I do buy buns for my hamburgers sometimes because I love sloppy burgers. I love the drippy, juicy, like barbecue sauce and ketchup and mayonnaise. And so, I indulge and I have that. But if, I'm making hamburgers that's gonna last me like 3 days, I'm gonna eat them. I'm not gonna eat like a whole pack of buns just for the taste of it. So I eat tomato or lettuce as the bread and just pile on your pickles and vegetables in the middle, and there you go. It's a breadless sandwich. It works. It's good. Okay, fish, tuna. You guys, low protein. Did I say low protein? Low fat protein, which is like chicken breast, turkey, fish, white meat basically. Red meats are not good for you. You're not supposed to eat a lot of red meats like hamburgers and steaks. They're bad for your heart. Treat them as a treat. Have them occasionally, like once every week or two, But so low fat white meat. I used to eat a lot of tuna about 1.5 years ago. This one exactly. In olive oil because it's so dry and I don't know. But then I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I ate this so much. The saturated fat is only 1 gram, which is not that bad because of the oil. But I drained the oil out, most of it. 100 calories, 14 grams of protein. But if you're gonna eat tuna, try to go for the ones in water. But tuna is a great thing, you guys. I mean, I lived off of tuna. You can take these pop-top cans to Disney, to your work, anywhere you're hungry, you need some pick-me-up. That protein, man, is so good. Tuna, stock up. And the reason I came on this aisle is because I was talking about pasta, and I want to show you my alternative to pasta, you guys. Because I mean, trust me, I do it. I know it's hard to just eat vegetables and meat. You want grains, you crave something go with your piece of meat. So where is it? Let me, I don't know if they have them at this grocery store. Beans are very good for you, you guys. And I don't see it here, but do you guys know Bob's Red Mill? Here's the brand. Bob's Red Mill is the brand. I love this company. I don't know if he's still alive, but he makes a bag like this in the bean section, and it's heritage cranberry beans. They're huge and they're thick and they like puff up and they're so creamy. They're so delicious. I never used to like beans, but now I eat a lot more beans. I make my dad's black-eyed peas, which are actually beans. And yeah, we make a lot of beans because they go with everything, and they're very healthy for you compared to like a pasta. And they're yummy. Or something else I was going to show you. Lentils. Where are lentils located here? Have you guys ever heard of lentils? Here's a bag of lentils. I get a different brand. I think it's that Bob's Red Mill again. They're like orange. But if you never had them, they're really good. They're really good for you, and they go really well with fish. If you make a lot of fish, since that's, you know, something really good to eat with your chicken. But you should try them. Lentils. Like I said, I don't really eat bread much ever, but if I was going to eat bread, I would suggest the frozen ones. They have like Ezekiel brand. It's like with the healthy little section in your freezer section maybe. It's like a sprouted bread. They have different brands now. I don't know their names, but they do make like, it's sprouted grains. So it's like a live kind of thing, and they're frozen, and they're really much better for you than like a white bread. One of the hardest and saddest parts is I don't eat cheese, like at all, hardly at all, ever. Only on, it's like, this is like a chocolate bar or something is the exception. This to me is like there, because it's weird, but I don't know how long ago now. My memory is just not. But when we were on my first group cruise, my only group cruise, I think it was 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, I don't remember. A guy on the ship, Rick, I don't know if you guys remember him or watched him, but he was talking to me about losing weight, and at that stage, you know, I had pretty much cut out like bad stuff in my diet, and I thought I was doing well. He told me that what he had to do in order to lose a large amount of weight was to stop the bread and stop the dairy. And to me, I was like, what? Because, you know, I always thought, you know, dairy was good, you know? I mean, like low-fat cheeses and cheeses that, you know, it's dairy and calcium, it's good. You know, but I tried it, and that is when I really started to like lose the weight. It was the dairy and the carbs that did it. And cheese isn't really good for you. Yeah, you need calcium, you know, you can take supplements or something with your calcium, or you can have, you know, a little milk or whatever. But if you guys look at the saturated fat is 6 grams for 1/4 of a cup. There's 8 of them in this little bag. This little 1/4 of a cup is 30% of your sat fat. That's just so bad. And I don't need it, because now that when I do try to cook with cheese and I eat the stuff, it's so rich, and it's just not, you know. So I only eat it when I need to eat it. If I'm gonna make something special and it needs cheese, sure. I used to put it like on my broccoli, on my cauliflower, you know, cheese was like, throw it in your eggs, you know, I mean, cheese is like an addition to everything. But now it's rarely ever used in my house. If I do, I use, it's not here, I don't see it. It's like Fresca, like one of these right here. I just like it to put in my Elizabeth biscuits that I make for me and Dad especially. So I don't eat dairy, but I did stop eating yogurts altogether, but I really like yogurt. And the reason I couldn't stop eating yogurt altogether is because at night, late at night, it's like too late for heavy items of food, you know, the digestion and everything. Like, let's say it's 9 at night, I'm going to bed in an hour and I'm hungry and I want to eat, like, you know, a meal. Yogurt was always the go-to for me because it's easily digestible, it's light, it doesn't make you burp up or anything. And so I had bought these for quite a few months because honestly, they're like the perfect, if you're on a diet, you guys, if you're not eating bad and you're not eating bad food, but you want a treat like a candy bar, get one of these. These, if you haven't tried them, they taste like a candy bar, and they're just as satisfying at night You know, if you're wanting something like that, right? But then I was like, okay, calories 180, total fat 4 grams, sat fat is 2.5 grams, and protein is 12 grams, total carbs 24. So I'm like, wow, 2.5 grams of sat fat just because I want to taste it. There you go again. Just because I want that brief pleasure of taste. Is it worth it? No, it's not. So I started getting this one, which is what I used to eat a long time ago, just original plain non-fat yogurt. It is 1 cup, 120 calories, no fat, no sat fat, 9 carbs, and 22 grams of protein. And not only that, but yogurt has all of the live cultures, which help you with your digestive tract. And it isn't bad tasting. I don't know if you guys have ever had plain yogurt. It reminds me of sour cream, just not quite as a sharp sour creamy taste. It really has hardly any taste at all. It's a very mellow, like tasteless, which is great because you can add your own stuff to it. I cut up cantaloupe. It's so juicy, and like cantaloupe is so like yummy and sweet and liquidy. When you cut it, it just goes into the yogurt and flavors it, but in a natural way. If you want it a little sweeter, you can try honey, a local honey where you live. Add a little in there, like half a teaspoon or whatever, not a lot, because you don't, you know, unless you want to. But the good thing about that is that instead of adding like a white sugar, you know, having these with the sugar in it, when you add honey to your plain yogurt, you're actually benefiting yourself by the local honey, because it helps with your allergies and your, you know, because you know the bees get the pollen from the local plants. So if you eat local honey, you're going to help yourself with your allergies and stuff like that. So but honey is very good for you. Putting it in your yogurt makes it extra good instead of, you know, getting these, you know, fake sugar sweetened ones. So that's what I do. I add fruit, I add honey, or I eat it plain. That's my plain yogurt. These are great also. Kefir, it's like a drinkable yogurt, but it's different. I'm not really sure how. I couldn't tell you why, but it's really good for you, and it has a lot of probiotics in it. Okay, this is the last thing before I go, because I gotta get some food. I'm starving. Eggs. It's another thing I like lived on for the last few years were eggs, because it's a great way to get your protein. The only thing about eating a lot of eggs is you don't want to eat the yellows. The yolks, the yellow, is where all the bad cholesterol is, which is not good for you. So you can eat all the eggs you want to eat, just take out the yellow when you make it. So what I do is I bought like one of those microwavable like little omelet makers, you know, and I'll crack 4 eggs into it, and I'll take all the yellows out, and then I'll add all my vegetables I want in there, like spinach, broccoli. You can add chicken, you can add any kind of, you know, meats and stuff in it. Sun-dried tomatoes are really good, and you know, you make that, and it made like a huge omelet, and I cut it in half, and then I would have, you know, half for breakfast or half for lunch. So I ate a lot of eggs, just not the yellow, because it's very bad cholesterol. Okay, time to pick my lunch. I'm being really adventurous here. I'm thinking I'm gonna go for a yogurt. Well, it's like, what else would I pick, you know? I really want some sushi. That would be really good, but I don't even know if they make it here. Now see, I'd want to get one of these because they look so yummy, like this peach Chobani drink. But then this is what I do in the grocery store, you guys. If you followed me around with a camera, you'd laugh, because I must pick up like 100 items on the shelf, and this is what I do. I look at it, and then I put it back. And then I look at the next one, and I put it back. But sometimes the fantasy of eating it and looking at it is satisfying in a way, and putting it back is extra satisfying. But anyways, this has 14 grams of protein, 22 sugars, 3 grams of sat fat, 5 grams of fat, 200 calories for just the 14 grams of protein. Or if I chose, let's say, a plain vanilla, I can get 13 grams of protein, same amount of protein basically, with less sugars, no fat, no sat fat, and half the calories almost. So of course I would choose the less delicious one, but the better for you one. Oh my gosh, I just saw this. I want to show you guys. I have been wanting this for a while. And I was gonna get it the other day at the grocery store. I remember it was so good. Strawberry milk, you guys. Do you remember did you guys used to drink this Nesquik strawberry mix when you were younger? I was like, ooh, strawberry milk. And then of course I do my, let's look at the label. And I was like, oh my gosh, this little bottle, almost 400 calories, 16 grams of fat, and 11 grams of saturated fat. I was like, ooh, I just cannot, I can't. I just, for a little thing of milk, it's not like, you know, if it was like some special treat, like at Disney or something, I just can't. So I just put it back every time I look at it. I'm like, put it back. I hope I helped you out a little so far. I have a lot more to show you and a lot more to talk about, and I'll show you like at home what I cook and what I eat. I can give you all my tips I have. I hope they help you. If you can see how it's going, is basically I choose to say no to all the yummy things that I would want. Before I ate whatever I wanted to eat. If I wanted it, I ate it. I rarely looked at the ingredients. I rarely looked at the fat or any of that. I rarely cared, you know, because like a lot of things in life, you want it, you get it, you eat it, and that's just not how I live anymore. I choose health over taste. So if you guys were gonna cut something out of your diet, something you know that's bad, something you know you love and you wouldn't want to go without, what would it be? What would you choose? What was the first thing you choose to cut out of your unhealthy eating habits? I would like to know, because there's so many things. And like I said, start little. You don't have to do it all at once. It took me years and years, like 2.5 years of gradually doing one step better. Every little thing you do will equal up eventually to a lifestyle change. Thank you guys for watching. I will make more, but if I do lapse, don't be mad, because I am here and I do have big plans. I just need to get, you know, my life at home in order and just get on those. So thank you guys. Bye.